Hi, my name's Tommy and I work at Velocity Tuning. Today's video is on how to make your F90 M5 a 9-second quarter-mile car. Unfortunately, you can't make this power without any modifications. So there's one main modification needed, and that is removing the catalytic converters. So you'd replace them with pipes like this. This is half of the setup you would have, so this is one half of the engine, then you have the identical on the other side, and that's going to make the exhaust a lot more free-flowing. Also, if your car is a 2019 or onwards, you're also going to have OPF filters. Now, you can have those gutted, you could fit a 2018 system like I did, or you can buy things like a Remus midsection. All of those will remove the OPF filters as well and allow the car again to be more free flowing and to create more power. Once you've got your exhaust where it needs to be, you're pretty much set up with the physical modifications needed to the car. There ain't anything else that is a requirement. You can fit different intakes if you want more sound, so I use Project Gamma. You can fit charge coolers that will affect the temperature slightly, but the main benefit of those is if you're running methanol. I personally don't run methanol. The main one is getting the exhaust system changed over. Once that's done, you're going to be able to run much faster times and what we call run stage 2 maps. If you don't change the cats, then you're running stage 1 maps. Once you've got your parts fitted to the car, it's not just going to be able to run these times, you're going to need to get everything mapped in. So to do that comes this lead. So this is an E-net to OBD lead, and that's going to allow you to be able to tune your car yourself if you're not coming into the workshop. So the way that we do it is we use the BootMod 3 platform. We load our own custom maps onto that platform. Some of our customers come in-house and we dyno test them. Other customers buy our files off of us and then they send us data logs and we adjust the cars accordingly. I offer 4 different stage 2 maps. So I have a normal stage 2, an aggressive stage 2 for petrol, and then I have a normal stage 2 ethanol map and then an aggressive stage 2 ethanol map. And what I'm talking about today is our aggressive stage 2 ethanol map. Now, the cars can be faster, but this is what I consider the safe limit for a standard engine. So it runs a 5.2 100 to 200 or a 5.19 if we're being exact. It does a 9.9 quarter mile and a 2.4 0 to 60. The car could be faster, but I believe that engine reliability could become an issue. So when I say race fuel, what I'm actually talking about is E30, and what that means is it's 70% petrol, 30% ethanol. This is the ethanol we use here, so it comes in tins of pure ethanol and we dilute it into the main fuel tank of the car. So if you was to look at that car, there's no extra meth tank, there's no extra controller, there's no extra hardware fitted to the car. We literally add it into the fuel tank, and then through the mapping of the engine ECU, we're able to calibrate everything to make the most of this. Once you've got your engine tuned, what you're going to want to do with that is you're going to want to get a gearbox tune as well. So we personally use XHP. They offer a stage 1 and a stage 3 map. I actually like the stage 1 map, and that's what I use on this car. I've seen no performance benefit of switching over to stage 3, and I actually prefer the way that stage 1 shifts. That's something you can again do yourself with an E-net cable, or you can use some Wi-Fi adapters that will even work with your mobile phone. Everything's real easy and accessible these days. So we're tuning cars not just in England but out in America and mainland Europe, and the way we're doing it is through things like this BootMod platform, where you can buy a license, get an activation code, send me a tune request, I will write your tunes for you. You can data log the car, you can send it all across, and I'm seeing real true live data, so I can see what the ignition time and the boost, the fueling, I can see everything there, and it's a real quick, easy and results proven way of tuning. So that's your pieces to the puzzle. Get your downpipes, make sure you've got no OPFs, get your car tuned, E-net cable, bit of ethanol, you should be able to run into the 9s. Now, I must mention that my car does not run a 9.9 every single time. I've only ran the 9 seconds, probably a quarter of the time. Most of the time I'm doing a 10.0, 10.1, 10.0, 10.1, oh look, there we go, 9.9. So I'm not saying this is a consistent every single time you're running 9s, but when the conditions are optimum, I'm hitting 9.9. So what I'm finding is that for me to get the level of traction and launch that I need, temperatures need to be above around 12 Celsius, and then if it was to get above, say, 20 Celsius, which you're going to start to find that maybe the car's not making quite so much power. I haven't seen what temperature I can do it up to, but I've been at 20 Celsius and able to produce those times. One of the things I actually like about this setup is the beauty of the simplicity. Downpipes, exhaust work, a bit of fuel, a cable, you can just load it all on yourself. You've now made the car super fast. But it is worth mentioning for people that don't want to be mixing their fuels, there is other alternatives. So what you can do is you can fit water meth. There are additional benefits to water meth. As such, the intake temperatures are always going to be a lot cooler, and you haven't got to worry about switching maps or switching fuels. You can have it running like that all the time. But for me, on this car, I actually like the simple setup of just the downpipes being done to it. And to switch the maps with the boot mod 3, it literally takes about a minute and a half. So I can pull up at the petrol station, make sure I've got the correct amount of fuel, make sure I add in my race fuel, flash the map, there we go. I now normally end up with like 3/4 of a tank, so I've got 3/4 of a tank of race fuel. I have my fun. Then next time I pop into the petrol station, once it gets low, I top it up all the way with my 99 and flash it back over, and it's done. It's real nice and simple. Some of you out there might be thinking, I don't care how fast your car is on race fuel, I want to know how fast it is daily. I want to know what it's like when you're just going to the normal petrol station. What sort of times is it doing then? Well, I'll answer that question for you. When it's on its normal fuel, it does a 10.1 quarter mile, it does a 5.5 100 to 200, and it does a 2.5 0 to 60. Just in case you're trying to work all that out in your head, I'll throw the numbers for where it's at on the race fuel back at you. That's a 5.1 100 to 200, that's a 2.4 0 to 60, and that's a 9.9 quarter mile. So there we have it. There's the video on how I made this car into a 9-second quarter mile car. I'm not the only person out there doing this, but there's not many of us that are running 9 seconds. Most of the tuners seem to be hovering around the 10s. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll try to get back to you in the comments. If you're new to this car, this is the first video of mine that you've seen, have a look through our videos, because you'll see I've done a video of the car stock, I've done a stage 1 video, I've done a stage 2 video, I've done a video of us at a race event, and I've also done a review on the car with another YouTuber as well, where they've reviewed it. And later in the year the car will be going to Santa Pod, and we will be doing more events with it. If you're wondering what is the exact setup of this car and what exact car is it, it's a 2019 M5 competition. It's got around 37,000 miles on the clock. Going over the modifications that haven't been mentioned on this, but I will note they're not needed to run these times. I have 21-inch wheels on this, I have Project Gamma air intakes, and I have Project Gamma charge coolers. But like I say, without those fitted, I'm sure that we'd be running in the 9s still.